What's up, guys? It's Black and back with some more RA content. The time has come. It is the finals. It is Team Quad U, aka Unano, playing as Ukraine, and Ultralord back as France. And then in the top slot admin, it is Creo playing as Russia, and Fazzar playing as UK. Looks like these guys went any Soviets and any allies, and we had our picks on the bottom. We are on intersection once again. This is the make or break map, it seems, but this time it shall be the first break. I don't know who's going to win, but I do know that these guys are the underdogs for sure. Creo and Fazzar were super strong in their group stage. They walked all over me and Orb, and I think people generally would say that this matchup is unfavorable for Upps and Unano. Unano has a pretty poor track record against Fazzar, and Creo actually has a really good track record against Fazzar, so I assume with the transitive property, that means that Creo has a good track record against Unano. I don't know how much Upps and Fazzar have played necessarily. I'm sure in RATL, Upps has lost at least a little bit to Fazzar since he's a pretty solid player. We'll have to see. Looks like Upps is trying to do some fancy force marker again, but this time not catching like he did against Upps. Oh, and the dog goes down for Creo there. That is a kind of a costly mistake. We'll have to see if Unano can capitalize on it. He is once again running with that engineer in the middle, and Creo's already capped his engineer at the top, so I don't know if Unano's going to be able to push, but he keeps moving in. It's very close. I don't think Unano's going to get it. He's going to have to retreat. That is a wise decision. Go all the way back. Take your 1-0 Derek and retreat. Looks like Upps is managed to root out Fazzar over here, so that is nice. But Creo is going to get that nice 2-0 Derek advantage. Upps has Unano. I'm already mixing up names again. It's already within the first 2 minutes. I'm already doing it. But Unano not going for a second aerial Derek yet. Looks like he's finally figured it out. There we go. It's like double ref here, double ref here, double ref here, and double ref here. No double ref cells, looks like. Both players, or all players, have that second power crawling out. And it looks like Fazzar is actually going to get away with stealing both these oil Dereks. Although, maybe if he sets his infantry here, he could maybe snipe away that one. Get a good surprise attack on these troops from Fazzar. But it looks like Upps is just going to scout, see that Fazzar is in fact there, and he's going to have to wait. Starting to run out some rockets. Fazzar also usually very light on the early rockets. In fact, he's doing the same thing. 3 medics early. Again, this is something that you can absolutely push. A quick light tank will do this, but it looks like Ultralord is going to go for a ranger. I mean, it makes sense. You want to transport that for the engineer, but again, a quick light tank here could absolutely route all of this, kill all of these, or at least crush a lot of them and send a lot of them back. Creo just doing his Creo things. Looks like he is going for an APC. That is totally fine. A little expensive on the APC compared to light tank. Yeah, that extra 150 is another like 5 seconds, something total like that. If you get 3 seconds per $100 or something like that, I'm not entirely sure. Nice little scout there from Upps. Managed to kill that one from Fazzar. Fazzar's gonna run his engineer all the way bottom. Sure, he'll have a ranger coming out shortly. But it looks like for the meantime, he's just focusing on some eco. That's really fine. He's gonna get up to 5 harvesters relatively quickly. Creo, so he's just on 3 for now. Probably getting a 4th one out right there. And Unano already up to 4. Probably a 5th one coming out right about now. Yeah. It looks like Upps is just a little bit behind. That's probably just because he went for that first. So, oh, Upps is gonna come down here, but Fazzar's infantry is there. He might actually get a great engagement here. He's gonna have to try to commit to kill this oil Derek, and he gets lucky that Fazzar does retreat away. I think Fazzar could have rolled through that even with the ranger support. It would have been very close. And it looks like Upps got something with the cell there. I did see some technicians getting sold. Not sure what it was. Maybe it was a ref or something like that. Unfortunately, I missed it again. But Fazzar has a very dangerous army here, and he's starting to get the advantage on the ranger, which makes all the difference. Fazzar's ranger, engineer rather, just sitting there at the bottom. All the restrictions in the bottom are going to go down. Looks like Creo's going to lose his secondary oil derrick here. Unano does have a great position on this flak, but he's going to have to bring it back in eventually. Do like his poking, and he is getting a rocket, which is nice. There is Fazzar's ranger just scouting through, make sure there's nothing in the middle. Sending out rifle scouts too. I think the last time I saw these guys play, Unano and Upps were really good with the rifle scouts. They actually made quite a big difference. Where ORA Ladder definitely were pretty bad on just archer scouting in general. That definitely made a difference. So scouting is a huge part of the game, and good scouting is hard to come by. Looks like both players on the bottom side are doing pretty good scouts, just actively keeping that ranger moving. Looks like Fazzar is going to go to the center. I don't disagree with that. That's kind of what I expected the last time this map was played. Take the center first, and this is kind of more of a late game, but X did manage to get an MCV all the way down there really quickly, and it worked out for a while. He managed to beat Upps back, but we'll have to see how Upps fares this time against Fazzar. Fazzar is known for sitting in big concaves and kind of winning in one base pushes, but it's easy to work against that if you can see it coming. You just have to have good scouting. And I think Upps lost his ranger, which is unfortunate. So he's going to be down that scout. Both players going to the center, and again, Fazzar is here, so this could be pretty dicey if he starts getting some defenses out and Upps pushes too far, but Upps is going to be the first defense out. Fortunately, it's going to get targeted on the wrong thing and instantly go down, and he is going to lose those first rockets now too, so I think Fazzar is in a little bit better position here, and he does have the Ranger, so you can totally see what's in the waiting here. He's just now seeing it with the Ranger. I don't know, this is actually going to be pretty close. Double support coming out of here from Unano and Upps. And Fazzar is going to smartly fall back. I think that is the right decision. Ooh. And a double army coming down here. So once again, Creo and Fazzar are going to be heavy on the doubling. This could be really good. Unano has to recognize this though. As soon as, or Upps rather has to ping this immediately. Hey, there's actually a full army here. That'll either give time to Upps for Unano rather, just to dive the main or check out this expansion. But if he just lets this happen, that could be pretty bad. And Creo's doing a really good job of keeping this in the fold. Ooh, a tank flank out here from Fazzar, but it looks like Upps was aware of it with some scouts, and that medium tank is going to go down. That is a nice grab. If you can get that Ranger too, that'd be really great. Creo's engineer somehow on the bottom. Looks like Fazzar's engineer got killed by a rifle in the back there. Both sides remember that there is gem mines in the back now, and it looks like Fazzar's going to take his, and Upps is going to take his. So bottom side, outside, taking those gem mines. That should be a cue maybe that Upps has, or Creo's army's down here, but I don't think he can quite see it. Maybe with this medium tank you could. And I think he finally does see it. That should be Q or Q. Unano, you need to move in. I'll have to see what Unano does on the radar. But Creo's in a great position to push this expansion, and then Fazzar will be able to push through here. And he's going to leave that MCV here. And that's going to be a mistake, because Fazzar is going to roll all that as soon as he gets the chance. Creo's army is not going to trade pretty well here. It looks like Upps had a pretty good concave, but he is taking just enough that Fazzar is going to be free to move here. Unano is going to come in on the bottom. That could be pretty good. It's going to be a big army. We'll have to see who turns into who first. If they can sandwich those two armies, that would be really good. But again, now that Unano's moved away from here, Creo can move in here, and there's a lot less defenses for Unano than Creo. Looks like they are going to call for a double here, and I do agree with that. That it could be pretty good. But again, this army is going to make all the difference if it catches a good angle on this attack. That could be really bad for Unano and Upps. This Yak should probably be pretty scouting to see what he's actually up against, and yeah, this is going to be pretty bad for Unano. His tanks are in the wrong side. Instant retreat there, which is a great idea. Oh, but Unano is moving away. He needs to go in, and he needs to hit Fazzar right now. This army has been doing nothing this entire game. Fazzar's going to come in, and he's got the concave. This is going to be really good. And he's trying to take the army. I think that's a bad decision. He should be attacking the main base, or at least that expansion. There is an artillery there, which does make it scary, but Upps is getting pushed back here, and now Creo is just going to go move in. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be enough. I think Unano was a little bit too passive this game. He needs to be more active. Creo and Fazzar once again having the better teamwork, and that is making all the difference. Fazzar's army is getting cleaned up pretty good, but now Creo has a free flank over here, and there's not much for him to really stop pushing through there. And Creo has a secondary army coming in anyways. Yeah, I don't know. There's still a little bit of Fazzar's army left too, so this MCV is getting pushed. This flank is completely unnoticed and could hit all of Yanasico. I think Creo and Fazzar are going to take game one, probably see another 2 minutes, if that. If this army gets cleaned up by these artillery, that could be really bad too and cause a pretty quick GG. MCV goes down, and the radar is going to go down. Unano is struggling to try to form a concave, but 3 artillery are going to absolutely slaughter this if they get in range. He's having a pretty good engagement so far against Creo, but now here come the artillery. This is going to make all the difference. See how good the target firing is. So far, they're stuck on the tanks. The Yak's coming in, gets 2, almost gets 3, just barely runs out. That artillery shot is finally good. There's another great artillery shot. Just a little over the top. And the artillery does go down, but there's not a left for Unano. This tank is getting so much value. MCV gets pushed away. 3 harvesters down. He's going to lose all these harvesters as well. Just a masterful class of applying pressure and just retreating and attacking somewhere else from Creo and Fazzar. This is what makes them so hard. They've been communicating really well. I'm not sure if they're in chat. I don't think they are. I think Creo is just silently and team chatting through text, but been pretty silent so far. They've just been in some natural sync together, I suppose. Yeah, Creo is cleaning up here. Unano does not have a lot. There's some V2s even pressuring as well. And Unano is pretty much the last survivor here. Upps is pretty dead. And there's the GG already, so looks like game 1 is just under 10 minutes. That is a pretty quick game, and we'll have to jump into game 2.
Battle control initialized.
Back here for game 2, of course, it's going to be on Kosovo, because why wouldn't it? Looks like Upps is once again France, and Unano is Ukraine, and then we have, again, Soviets for... Oh no, wait. Soviets for Fazzar and allies for Germany, so that's a switch up. Interesting. Not too often that you see Soviets or you see Fazzar play Soviets, so I'm not sure what to expect here. Maybe they've got some strategy worked out. Maybe Fazzar wants the Tesla tech or something on this bottom one. I mean, you do have a lot of ORA when you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a lot more to pump out than the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe going for Tesla tech on the bottom is a little bit easier since you do have more eco. Plus you get to retain this oil there a little bit longer, and if you can push this one later into the game, that could help too. Looks like Creo is going to establish his safe oil direct. That's really fine, because Upps and Unano are once again pushing the middle with both combined armies. Fazzar just going to go straight for the back oil direct. It looks like he might be going for a War Factory first too. Wow. So this is a complete change up with Fazzar's style. This is not something you see often. He's normally double ref, definitely an ally's favorite. Maybe he's feeling that Soviets have something. We'll have to keep an eye on what he has planned for this game. Looks like going to be a double ref for Unano too. He's not going to be able to build down here since this place is where his barracks there. That's totally fine. The ref can come over here if he wants to take it, or he can give it to Upps. It'd be very weird if he gave it to Upps. That'd be a lot more mines for Upps to have. Upps going to try to snap the engineer, but that rifle is not going to make it. Instantly pulls back. Good decision there. But they're not getting contested here in the middle, so that should probably cue them to rotate up here, or maybe try to take this if they really want to. That was a mistake by Creo. He accidentally built 2 engineers, so we'll have to see if that comes into play. Maybe he's going to do some sneaky cap. Yeah, Creo calling out his mistake, but I think he'll be okay. An extra $400 really ain't going to kill you, especially if this can be sneaky later. Kill 1 engineer, you're like, okay, I don't have to worry about it anymore, and then a second engineer capture stuff. Looks like Unano's going to try to come in here, but Fazzar is perfectly set up, and that engineer is going to get that second order deck just fine. A few more random rifle scouts getting cleaned up. Creo maybe going to try to come in here and decap this middle one. I think he should probably have a bad time because Unano is sitting in there. Although, again, a quick vehicle would have been good, but it looks like Fazzar is just focusing on macro at the time. It's very hard to sit on that one harvester for so long, but you know, it is an advantage of the War Factory first. And Creo is actually probably going to get away with this. Oh, he's going to lose a bunch of rockets. That could be pretty bad, but it looks like they're going to run into the rifles first. That's fortunate. He is going to pay with it with quite a number of units, but once this oil derrick goes down, and it does, they're going to have to kill it. That's a great decision there just to kill it. It's not worth trying it. He's going to get $100 for that, and that's it. Oh, Fazzar trying to come back here and sneak cap this. Usually it waits a little bit longer, and this time he's a little bit quicker. Looks like Unano is aware of it, but oh man, if he goes right next to the Imperials, that could be pretty bad. Instantly goes for the engineer, not a bad idea. Those rifles are going to get poked away to death anyways. Ranger coming there too, because why not? That is Unano's engineer. And it looks like Creo out with a light tank. Nothing too crazy going on for him. He's just been wrecking up units. Still got 1 engineer alive. Second one's rallying all the way to the back. I can't wait for that to actually be something that wins this game. That'd be pretty ironic. A mistake turns into a big deal. Got his 4th harvester out now, and his 5th harvester is kind of slow actually. Not sure why it's running so long. He only built a light tank, so I don't know. There's a little slow on his queues. Maybe that extra engineer threw off his eco or something. Fazzar just gonna rally his engineers in front of his ore field because why not? Make sure it's safe. You don't want to get early push there. Although very hard to early push this one. You have to like commit very hard from both sides on the top, and I just don't see that happening. Once again, good scouts out from these players. This engineer, no, that engineer's definitely gonna die if that rifle sits there. But The second one is there, so again, wait and see if that happens. Good scouting there from Upps. Does see that Fazzar's army blob is there, but there's not much Unano can really do. So going to come down here, probably miss that scout, try to see if you can get an engineer in there, since it is on its route, but Fazzar does have a few rifles around. Places a ref and instantly moves out. I do like this. He's going to get in front of his ore field, which is great. Unano very slow to expand again. Looks like he is just very slow. For some reason, I'm not sure why. Upps is going to push through here. He's doing a really good job with his ranger to scout, but he does need some heavy armor. And Creo is going to move all the way across. Do you like that too? He's going to try to establish in the middle. Same thing as Upps. Looks like Unano is sitting on there for now, and yeah, that could be a problem. Fazzar is going to push all the way across, and he's going to have the first chance to establish here, which could be really good. Probably drop a Rax first, and then move that MCV again. Yep, now he has his rally fixed here, so this could be a problem for Unano. I don't like that he's going for the backside here. That's going to make this ore field contested, and he's just going to lose out on the eco on the slow time. Is going to get an engineer here, which is nice, but again, Fazzar just slowly crawling forward, which is really good, and his army's way out of position. This MCV is in very dangerous position. It's going to probably be a base war over here. I think that should benefit either player, really. Creo's a pretty good tech player. Upps is a strong tech player when he wants to be. Sometimes he focuses a little bit too much on other stuff, like the fancy pace tanks and Tanya, but I think this is probably going to decide it. I don't think Unano is going to do very well here. His army is going to be in a really bad position where it looks like Fazzar is going to be much better suited. That harvester instantly going to get pushed off anyways. Just a little bit of stuff going on right here. I'll have to keep an eye on the bottom as well. One pillbox is going to go down in a second. There it goes. Last tank gets the last one on it. I think if you're Upps, you want to try to rotate around this way. Don't fight into Creo like I did. That was my mistake. I think pushing over here would have been better. Ooh, Ranger instantly goes down. Unano with the first dust coil. That could actually be pretty good. But I don't like where his heavy tanks are. They're in the very back. He's going to have to rely on these defenses, and oh, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff there from Fazzar, but so far so good for Unano, who's managed to hold on. But again, Fazzar is able to camp this, and that is a problem. One heavy tank coming in here for support, which is nice, but Unano is going to be able to take care of that. Tank flank from Creo, not going to get too much in there. That engineer has moved down a little bit more. And Fazzar is, yeah, if Unano just leaves this army here, he can just move this army around, which should be pretty good. Looks like Creo and Fazzar are setting up for a double or something. I feel like they got to be in TeamSpeak or something, right? Or maybe just Fazzar is just talking to Creo. Because this seems very coordinated. Maybe Creo's just moving to the middle, I don't know. But it looks like we are going to see them double again. Unano losing a harvester, that's not good. His army's out of position. All this is going to get pushed away. Creo being a little lackadaisical right there, moving that army back and forth, not doing much. Expansion does go down for Unano for pretty much free. And now he's going to go into Fazzar, but Fazzar does have base support here, so expect pillboxes and flame towers coming down from the bottom side. Unano does have a good engagement here, but again, Fazzar just has so much mass that it's going to be pretty bad, and this army is not clocked by anybody. One tank left for Unano, but all of his infantry support is dead, so Unano is pretty much gone, and now that army is moving through freely to the main. Unano moving a third MCV down there, but unfortunately it's a little too late. Harvester going to go down to a single light tank. Actually, medium tank gets it, because why not? But yeah, unfortunately, no scouts here this time for this side. This army was able to sneak through, and they're going to do a lot of damage. Get a power plant at least. Kill some harvesters would be really good. That radar is definitely going to go down. Maybe the war factory. MCV should probably get away, unless he doesn't move it. But Fazzar is also running through there too, because Unano has 0 army value, 3,300. That is nothing. Now Creo moves in on the backside since he sees that Upps is here. And this is looking very strong for Team Slotted Men right now. They are proving that they are a formidable foe. Just making all the right decisions. Upps gets forced off in the back there. Does have a good engagement there with artillery. Just line of sight. But Creo's army did make it through right here. Unano has nothing. He's pushed off here. That harvester's probably going to die to just random rockets. And then Creo with another army coming to push Upps off that guy. So yeah, this is pretty hectic for Upps. I can imagine being in his position right now, just trying to respond to everywhere all at once. But he's losing so many harvesters. He has 5 harvesters left compared to 8 and 8, and Unano has 4. It's not looking too strong for him in game 2. Looks like Slotterman's going to be up 2-0. This attack pushing going to kill another harvester, and then that MC is probably going to go down as well. Oh, and then the last of Unano's harvesters going down here. He's got 1 harvester here, but hey, guess what? Fazzar is base pushing you, so that is forfeit as well. 1 harvester for Unano, and it is right here. This is not looking good. And beacon's there, but yeah, that's unfortunate for him. Flame Tower not going to do too much there. The last of Unano's harvester going to go down in just a second here, and it is gone. Unano is at 0 harvesters versus 9 and 8. Upps is trying to make something happen here, but he's pushing into artillery, and a Creo was there on the top, and there is the GG. 10 minutes that time, I think even shorter than the second game, so whew. It is not looking good for Unano and them. They are down 2-0, but we'll be back for game 3.
Battle control initialized.
Alright, we are back here for game 3 on Fresh Rain. I am happy that this map got picked. I think it was probably the most popular naval map. Looks like we are back to Soviets for Ukraine and allies for Fazzar. Soviets for Creo has Russia, and allies Germany for Fazzar. Ukraine and France for Unano and Upps respectively. Have to see what special things they got planned on this map. It'd be interesting to see if one of these guys go for a quick naval yard or not. Looks like Creo is going to go for a dog. I like that. Dog is always good. Fazzar going engineer first. Totally respect that. Same thing with Unano on the bottom. Upps on the same time. He is going rifles first, so rifles first can be pretty strong against a dog opener like this, just because you have the extra mash. And you can always catch that dog just moving to where you wouldn't expect something to be. Especially if he's, trying to snipe an engineer or something like that. But Creo in good position here. The dog's not in the subcell. Actually, kind of looks like it's there, but it's not. It's just the way the dog's facing looks. Upps probably going to recognize that, yep, Creo must have a dog because he's sniping without me seeing him. But he does have the concave there. It could be pretty good if he goes in, but he's just running parallel. Does get the dog due to splash damage. That's actually pretty important, and now Creo is in a little bit less worse of a spot. But unfortunately, I think he's trading out just a little bit better than... Oh, no, it's 400, 500, so I guess that dog difference is all that matters. Fazzar pushing across, and if Unano is smart, he realizes that there's too much there. He can just dive onto this oil there, can maybe kill it. We will have to see. Creo going to get cleaned up here. That's a good angle for Upps, but both players stop. Second dog out for Creo, so that's kind of bold. It's very expensive, and I think it's actually going to pay off for him. Unless it instantly dies, but it's like Upps just had a great concave there, but he still has the dog, so he still managed to push in. He's just got to be very careful, slow walk it. That is going to scare Upps away. Looks like Unano is waiting for this infantry to move all the way back, and he does have some rifle scouts there, so I do like this too. And this is a really smart play, but unfortunately for him, Fazzar is 3D braining it and going to go across his ore field. We do see a sub pin out for Creo. It's probably just a transport just to capture this. I think that's a smart idea as well. He is going to get that second oil derrick from Upps as Upps retreated all the way back. Looks like Upps did double ref sell this time. Unano going for a regular 2-ref build, Creo 2-ref build, and Fazzar regular 2-ref build. That is a very interesting choice for a war factory. A gunboat can easily kill that, so you got to be careful with that. Yeah, I don't know about that. Same thing over here. I think a gunboat could reach that. Definitely destroyer can, so you got to watch out where you place your structures on this map. It does matter, especially when those tier 2 missile subs or tier 3 cruisers come out. Fazzar going to come back and decap that oil derrick. That's probably a great idea. Oh, and their engineer gets sniped by a lone rifle there from Fazzar. That is unfortunate for Unano. Creo coming in here, capturing oil derricks. Don't think he realizes that he can walk all the way across, but that's alright. He'll just take him a little bit longer. See if Upps, yep, he is going to kill that. I'm not sure why that... Oh, it's not... Light tank wasn't queued in. It looks like it was, but it was not. Gonna sacrifice 2 technicians and maybe a medic this time? Nope, he's gonna get the medic away. Nice. Unano is gonna try to kill that oil derrick, but his troops are kind of getting rallied around. Luckily, the HC does spot that there is a ranger there, so he has to be careful. Probably needs to rotate his army away. You should expect that some stuff's coming. 1 sub out here for Creo. Probably just gonna scout, make sure there's no naval yards coming out. I like this positioning. It's a pretty good spot just to see if there's a naval yard coming out. You don't want it on top of the naval yard because that detection will ruin it for you. Nope. Unano needs to run that HC away. Don't run it back. Yeah, you can keep pushing in here. It's going to be costly, but you can push through that. AC does go down, unfortunately, instead of being rallied back, but it does kill the Ranger, and he's going to clean up the rest of Fazzar's army, so that is a pretty good win there. At the same time, I think Upps is going to get cleaned up here. He's going to try to retreat, but he's going to lose a lot just because of that extra vision. Black is going to trace down a lot of stuff too. Creo established in the middle. His extra 2 oil darts is nice. Believe that they are aware of it. Yep, they do see that those are captured, although that is a little hard to see. Oh no, another light tank going down. That is a costly mistake. That was his only light tank, as a matter of fact, so a little unfortunate there. Upps is going to lose his secondary oil derrick, and Creo is going to retain a nice 2-0 for now. Fazzar just 1-1 with Unano. MCVs are coming out shortly. It looks like Unano is going to be the second out. Fazzar is going to be first, so be interested to see if Fazzar really tries to push this. It's totally possible, but he is down on army, if I remember correctly. Not by much, it's just like a little bit less than 1,000. So probably should make more sense to just maybe reposition it here and establish a defensive line. That's usually how this top gets played. Maybe come down here and support Creo for a double, since these two seem to like doubling. Creo's MCV out about the same time as Upps, although it looks like Upps is a little bit quicker. Upps going to push across his Zora. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I do like Creo's positioning as well, though. Kind of cuts off this middle, so you can't just quick dive. Upps positioning across is nice to protect your Aura, but it does leave this a little bit more exposed. Ooh, big flank by Fazzar right here, and for once it does not seem like Unano has good rifle scouts. He's got some rifles in the middle, but he could really use some on the side, and that flank could get away. Upps repositioning his feet in the middle again, just to kind of cut this off. I do like that. And they're going to have a base war right here, although his army is a lot further away. I do like this from Creo 2, moving that sub so you can probably see this infantry stringing her out. Oh, Unano is going to send a rifle scout in there, but it's going to miss the army. That is unfortunate. That could make a huge difference. First pillbox kind of poking away at Creo. I'm sure we'll see a testicle response, and Creo moving his main MC all the way back. Looks like these guys on the top are really onto their game. And it looks like Unano and Upps are playing pretty well too. The only difference is Upps is keeping this main MC here, which isn't a bad idea at all. Just because now they don't really have any defenses there, so like a quick landing would actually be really good. Creo using that sub to the best advantage. Does see there's a naval yard, probably instantly going to start shooting in it, but I think he just missed it. What are they building? They're building gunboats. That is the correct answer. Gunboats are better than destroyers at pretty much everything. Only really need destroyers for AA in case there's lots of like Blackhawks or Yaks and stuff like that. Oh, but a gunboat on Micro Road is instantly going to go down to a sub. So he's going to have to start building more subs now that there is a navy yard, because one sub will not deal with the navy yard. But he might be able to kill off another gunboat. If it's not Micro, we'll have to see. Oh man, this flank from Fazzar gets all the way in the back. That's actually so important that it hits this one too, because it's going to take that much longer for him to notice. We'll have to see how it goes. Seeing some little naval battle here. It looks like he's trying to focus on the navy yard. Yeah, second torpedo misses. That sub is going to go down, but it does have a secondary sub. Looks like Unano is finally aware, but he does lose a ref and a harvester. That is unfortunate. Creo are establishing on his second expansion, where Upps is kind of poking here. Testicle did eventually come out. And we're going to have some more sub action, so Navy actually mattering a little bit. Now, Unano with the flank over here, but this time Fazzar is aware of it. Or at least he does have 2 scouts. Probably should here. Yep, he does see it. He's going to rotate everything over. Ooh, 1 shot left on that sub. But it does come with a gunboat, so gets a little bit forced trouble. Fortunately not getting its value back. Upps is trying to push here, but he's running right into Creo's army, and I don't think that's going to be good at all. Fazzar is still sitting here with that flank in the back. That is super annoying. This little flank from Unano is going to get easily cleaned up. That does cue Unano to move all the way in. I don't think this is a good idea, though, because Fazzar's army is still there. At the same time, Creo's army is now finally caught up, but he is pushing the MCV back. I don't think this is going to go well for the bottom side, actually. Unano's army right here does get the MCV. That is important. And he needs to retreat immediately, because Fazzar has a huge army there, and those artillery could be huge. He's doing a great job just sniping out the infantry. And Fazzar is pushing there. Upps is kind of pushed back. I don't know about this. This is going to be pretty dicey. Unano does not have any air yet. That is pretty important. He's stuck on tier 1.5. These gunboats, unfortunately, not going to do too much right now. 2 subs versus 3 gunboats. That's 1500 versus 1500. So in theory they should be even, but it all depends. And the first gunboat going down, and the artillery actually getting the gunboats, that is quite nice. So that vision support from the sub actually making it a big deal for once. Here we go. You can see the Creo trying to dive for this. Upps is here with an army, so he should be alright. And I think that is... yeah, that is Fazzar's Tanya. So I think Upps and Unano are in a lot of trouble. Stuck on tier 1.5, that flank on the bottom, disrupting his eco a little bit. I don't think he can withhold. I think Upps will be fine for now. He's kind of contending with Creo, but again, Upps also stuck on tier 1.5. There we go. Both of them up to tier 2 now. He needs his artillery support because the V2 are coming, and Fazzar already has tier 3. Oh, Tanya gonna go down to a flame tower. That is nice. But he does sacrifice a heavy tank for it. It's gonna be very close. Has to go in now, and he has to kill these artillery. These artillery shots are good, and they're gonna be in world of trouble. Ooh, the crushes weren't bad, and the artillery are firing on the wrong thing, but they're starting to get good shots, but the infantry are here. Unano is barely gonna win that, but there is Blackhawks to kind of sweep that up. Same time, Upps is heavily deathballing right here, and Creo is slowly pushing through. A little flank over here would be great. Just, send 1 or 2 tanks, something like that. Great yak use there, kills a bunch of infantry and crashes onto the barracks. Still has some infantry left, and the yaks of Blackhawks are looking for something. Naval has stalemated, nobody's really willing to invest into it. But I won't be surprised if we start seeing some missile subs soon, once some of these subs get into action. Artillery are in pretty good position. There is an AA gun too. And Upps is heavily split once again, seeing this army. I think Creo is going to get repelled there pretty convincingly. Tanya probably about to pop back out if she hasn't already. It looks like he's not rebuilding Tanya. Did he lose his tech center? No, he did not. Another tank flank down there, but Unano had infantry, so that's really fine. Upps is more heavily split now. Black is going in, and they're getting some good value again. Great target fire by Fazzar for the most part, because so many of the rockets, in fact, all the rockets but one. And I think that's going to make all the difference there, because 4 heavy tanks is not going to be able to push this with that amount of rockets. Tanya comes up too, just to say hello, but I don't think she's actually needed here. And now Upps is kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. He's got 2 big armies, but so does Creo, and I think Creo has the better position here on the bottom. He's getting forced back everywhere, but Creo might get sandwiched here a little bit, but he still has this army breaking through, which is nice. Unano is pushed back all the way over there. Upps calling for some reinforcement. He needs some defenses. Great V2 shots. Absolutely slaughtering those infantry. And the tank vision is just doing so much to keep those infantry pinned down as they prone into range. Upps still has a 10k value, but I have a feeling that his army value is just plummeting. Yeah, you can see how bad of engagement that was for him. I think Creo just pushed out bottom, and Unano is slowly losing the top. Some cruisers would actually be really good for the bottom right now if they could start targeting that MCV, but I don't think that's within the realm. IC is up, so both bottom players are on tier 3 tech, but unfortunately I don't know where. Oh, it's non-existent, that's why. It's completely gone. 7,000 to 18,000, double the value there. Looks like Faz also has double the value of Unano. I don't think your mammoth tanks are going to save you this time. Maybe a demo truck right here would be pretty good, but these Blackhawks are in dangerous vision. Now the subs are getting activated. That gunboat is not long for this world. Tanya gets crushed by a lone heavy tank there on the bottom. That is unfortunate. These flak tracks are trying. There's one yak, instantly goes down. Probably pays for itself in there. But it's looking pretty bleak for these guys on the bottom. Unano is getting pushed on all angles. Tech center is going to go down if he so wishes. I think there's just enough Blackhawks to do it. Yep, another one comes in too. Probably can kill the power plant and the refinery with the support of the artillery. Ooh, great yak strafe there. Kills both artillery. That Tesla coil taking a number out of the MCV. It's looking pretty bleak there. Still no naval action other than those 2 subs, but at least we saw something, right? Looks like Upps has finally ran out of steam. He and Unao both have 1,600. Both these players almost tripling their value just by themselves. Unano's MCV going to go down in just a second. A gun kills the Yak before it can kill Tanya. Unano is getting pushed back pretty hard. Creo is running through Upps on the bottom, and it looks like there is not much hope left. I say that as Tanya gets some good value down here, but I don't think it's it. There's a Yak. Creo's got pretty good control. Gets the target on it. Unfortunately, Yak goes down to the A gun, but that's alright. It did its job. Unano is really trying. He is really trying, but without that tech, he's down to just tier 2. And it's so hard to come up against that many Blackhawks. That is definitely a full quarter of a Creo right there. IC goes off on a flak. I mean, that's the last-ditch effort. Probably should go for the Blackhawks, but I don't think he sees them. Fortunately, they were just out of vision. He's just going to focus on infantry, which is not really what he needs. Atani was there anyways. Does get a few of the Blackhawks with that flak, but he does go down. Reduce that to a full 1/8 of a Creo right there. Upps is completely pushed back here in the bottom. That is a frontline Tanya. Does kill the AA gun, so the Yak will probably go in. Oh, never mind. There's the second AA gun. Unano continues to get pushed back here. He's trying his best, but there's just too much air. One Mammoth Tank's still alive, and Creo's Fazzar is looking still pretty healthy there. The front has now reached onto Upps' ore field. One artillery trying its best. There's a Yak with a AA gun with a sliver of health. Oh, and there's a Scout V2. You don't see too many of those. Second AA gun comes up just as that Yak shows up, which is unfortunate. Does not get the crash onto the Tanya. That V2 will probably be able to deal with those AA guns though. Unano's still trying. The flaks are not up against their good armor type. Heavy armor is not what they're meant for. And the two AA guns go down. Creo even base pushing across the bottom now. This is... I mean, there's a way back somehow, right? But, I don't know, it's looking pretty bad. Maybe through Tanya if they believe in him. She's going to get some good value again, and there is an AA gun, but I think she's going to go down this time. Yep. 2 Yaks paying for 1 Tanya. Still probably worth it. That allows Creo to push into the top without fear of reprisal. 1 artillery is not going to cut it. Oh, the flak pack is getting up to 5, and the Blackhawk numbers are going down, but what does Upps do about this? He's absolutely encircled. There is nothing left. He's going to lose his NCV. 1 more artillery coming on the flanks, but that's not going to be enough to deal with all this. IC is ready for Unano, but Tanya is over here just making a mockery of what little army Unano had left. Flak's doing a really good job reducing those Blackhawk numbers as they try to chase, but he just doesn't have enough to do with this. And Creo just being ruthless, drops a tech center way in the back and just continues base pushing on. But Tanya is there. MCV unpacks, fortunately, and Tanya is going to hit a bunch of that, but guess what? Another Yak coming in. Now it is 2 artilleries in the face of a flame tower. 1 artillery goes down to a Yak, other one goes down to the flame tower. IC goes over here, killing even more of the Blackhawks, but Unano is just slowly getting pushed up. He's vetted up. Flaks are not going to be able to deal with this. There's even some longbows in there. Forward tech center again goes down. That's unfortunate for him. Subs are on the move, but they're not going to see much at all. Creo is pushing here, and there is the GG from Upps. This was a prettily stellar play by Creo, and Fazzar just absolutely not giving up an inch. And Unano finally calls the GG. So there we have it. Another clean sweep for these guys. They went through the playoffs undefeated, which is pretty impressive. I think they absolutely deserve this. They were a formidable team this season. Hopefully we get them back for RATL Season 4, whenever that happens. And hopefully we can get more of Upps and Unano. I think they actually work really well together. Had a really, really good series with Master and X, and hopefully maybe me and Orb or some other people like Desperate and Happy can actually play their games all the way. We'd love to see Dying Fetus and Andrew come back together too. They seem to play decently well. But that's all for the future. And until then, I'll see you all next time.